daawadayaal waxaa la gaaray xiligii aadna la daawan lahaydeen national and international news.
National and international news brought to you by Dora TV.
Golden Spice dhammaan dadweynaha Soomaaliyeed ee ku nool magaalada London iyo magaalooyinka kale ee waddankan Ingiriiska waxaan idinku bishaareynaa in Golden Spice waa xawaajiyada raashinka lagu darsaday dib u habeyn lagu sameeyay ma aha xawaaj qalalan oo aad marka aad gacanta ku taabato aad dareemayso in uu qalalan yahay ma aha xawaaj marka aad gacanta aad kala baxdo aanan ku soo udgeynin waa xawaaj aad u udugiisa aad ka dareemi karto halka aad markaasi joogto gacantaada iska bada Golden Spice waxa uu sameeyay dib u habeyn oo markaas uu ku kordhiyay xawaajiye cusub oo markaasi aad kaga heli doontaan haddaad doonayso xawaajiyadaani kala duwan ee lagu darsado raashinka ay Soomaalidu ay aadka u jecel yihiin sida bariiska baastada hilibka kalluunka iyo raashinka kale ee maraqa uu ka mid yahay Golden Spice waxa ay diyaar ku leeyihiin in ay markaas ay kugu keenaan halka aad markaas ku nooshahay Golden Spice haddaad u baahan tahay fadlan kala xiriir telefoonka iyo ciwaanka haatan shaashada kaaga muuqda Golden Spice iyo Abdalla Dheere
Golden Spice Abdalla Dheere.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته دمان داودياشينا شرفتا اقيمها له ميل والبا اد عالم كاد نغا داونيسان كسو دوادا ناشنال انترناشنال نيوز هبين كان عاوة ان كسو قادن دونو هبين كي حالي حفلد اد لو سو ابابولي او كدعدي مقالة لندن سوتهول او اي مركاسي سميين H&A Design Team UK او مركاسي هبلا صوماليات او ايهو قامينيسي هبو محمد عبدي xafladani oo markaasi loo sameeyay musharaxiin ka tirsan xisbiga Labourka ee waddankan Britain oo la filayo in 4 bisha July doorashada ka dhici doonta xaafadaha ay Soomaalidu ay u badan yihiin ay markaasi ay bulshada Soomaaliyeed ay ka doonayeen codkooda ayna soo bandhigeen qorshaha ama siyaasadda xisbiga Labourka sidaan hore wararka aan idinkugu soo gudbiyay waxaan isku dayi doonaa in aan tago goobaha ay bulshada Soomaalidu ay markaasi ay doonayaan inay aragtidooda ay isku gudbisadaan isla markaasina ay ka wada hadlaan xisbiga ay codkooda ay siin doonaan dadka ku nool waddankan Ingiriiska ee Soomaalida ayaa tiradoodu waxa ay kor u dhaafaysaa ilaa iyo 650,000 oo qofood codkoodana aad ayuu muhiim ugu yahay xisbiyada kala duwan ee waddankan Britain habeenkii xalay xafladani ayaa runtii waxa aad kaga dhex muuqday xisbiga Labourka oo doonayay in hooyooyinka Soomaalidu ay markaasi ay wax ka fahmaan qorshahooda ay markaasi ay doonayaan inay xisbiga conservative-ka ay kaga adkaadaan doorashooyinka dhici doona 4 bisha July ee sanadkan 2024 hablaha Soomaaliyeed ayaa waxay isku dayayeen in ay su'aalo ay ka weydiiyaan haweenkaasi ka socday xisbiga Labourka siiba Ilan oo ay Soomaalidu ay aad ugu badan yihiin oo haweenay markii ugu horeysay u tartami doonto xisbiga Labourka sidoo kale Southall eriyadaasi kore ayaa iyadana waxa u tartamaya laba haween ah oo markaasi khudbadahooda aad daawan doontaan waxaan filayaa in qof waliba oo Soomaali ah isku diyaar gareeyay in uu ka qayb galo doorashooyinka sanadkan 2024 waa 4 bisha July khudbadina waxay u bilaabatay sidatan
Thank you. It was so wonderful to be here with you both and to thank you for organising and inviting us as well this evening. I'm delighted to be here as the Labour candidate for Feltham and Heston, where I'm restanding to be the Member of Parliament, and to be here with my colleagues Deirdre Costigan from Ealing Southall. I think you're in her constituency, so normally we should tell people when we're coming into the areas, and Ruth Cadbury from Brentford and Isleworth. Look, I just want to say a huge thank you because I always try and work with the Somali community all year round, and it is incredibly important that we have the engagement of all of our communities in our work in the constituencies, but also in relation to Parliament. And there were a number of issues that I've been talking about with Hibbo as we've been going around in the Feltham area. And the need for change being one of the most important things. I think you will know, and we need to spread the message that it's time for change. It's time for change because there is nothing that works now as it did before. Life is so much harder for businesses and for families, and many of you are also those who are running your own small businesses, which, as Hibbo knows, is one of my great passions, to see more small businesses starting and more women coming forward and running their businesses. That's partly because I grew up above our small shop when I was a child in Osterley, but also because I've been self-employed and run my own business before I came into Parliament too. But it is important that we have an economy that is working for our country. It is important that we have stability so we don't see the inflation levels and the interest rates at the rates that we've seen that jumped after the Liz Truss budget. It is important that we see our NHS waiting lists coming down. And one of the things that the Labour Party has said is that we want to see 40,000 new appointments every week, because we're only going to bring those down if we have those out-of-hours appointments, evenings and weekends, more mental health support in our communities and in our schools. We've also got to make sure our streets are safer. This comes up so much, and it comes up far too much with young people, with women, and with so many, even our businesses across the community, because the cost of living crisis has contributed also so much to people's anxiety, to people also feeling that they're struggling to make ends meet, and maybe, do they try and steal something from the shop? This is why it's become, you see, more aggressive customers in our stores as well. But this has to change. We have to now bring back more safety in our streets, bring back more police, because the police have been cut so much. It used to be that you had 6 ward officers in your local area. That's less than 3 now. And if we want to bring back the relationship between our young people and the police, we need to make sure that we have that stability. But also, it is so important that we invest in education. I've been the Shadow Skills Minister, which means that it's been my responsibility to look at skills for post-16, our apprenticeships, our colleges, lifelong learning, how we support opportunities for adults to reskill, adults to learn for more jobs in the future. We've got to give everybody the chance, and we've got to build a culture of lifelong learning. We've got to see apprenticeships increasing, not decreasing, as we know they have. Apprenticeships in Feltham and Heston have been down by around 500 in the last 5 years, 6 years. I mean, that is extraordinary if you think of the number of young people that don't have those opportunities that they used to. And so we need to have this turned around. We need to have a focus on skills alongside everything else, because that's how we'll grow our economy, and that's how everyone will have a better chance in life. But also my passion has always been equality for women. Women's empowerment, women coming forward in our public life, women coming forward in business, women's voice being heard in politics and in our parliament. And that's why I'm so pleased as well to be here tonight, because the vision and the passion that Hibbo and all your family are bringing to making sure that people come together, this is part of helping make the whole community be stronger. Your voice be heard, your voice on behalf of yourselves and your family, your businesses, your work be heard. Because we need a fairer deal for all of our communities. We need your relationship with our politics to be so much stronger as well. And that's why I'm proud the Labour Party has always had at its heart diversity, inclusion and opportunity for all. So thank you all for being here. If you're in Feltham and Heston, hopefully you can say hello during the evening as well. And I wish you all a wonderful evening.
Thank you. So, as Hibbo said, I'm Ruth Cadbury like chocolate, so easy to remember. So I've been the MP for Brentford and Isleworth constituency for 9 years, and I'm standing again to be the MP. There's been some slight boundary changes. The constituency no longer includes Chiswick, so if any of you live in Chiswick, W4, your Labour candidate will be Andy Slaughter, and he's been the MP for Hammersmith for many years, and he'll continue again. if he's re-elected. I also, the other change is that Heston East and Whitton wards are coming into Brentford and Isleworth. So I know, possibly know some of you, it's been a great honour to represent a constituency with so many wonderful Somali families in it. And I know, having met so many Somali women in my constituency, how hard you work to support your children in their education, and how hard you work in your day jobs, in your businesses. And you're a true credit to our community and set such a good example to those where you live and to your children. And I know, as Seema has said, how much education is important. So many years ago, when I was a councillor, one of my constituents' families, their son was, I think, one of the first or second British Somalis to go to Oxford, and Oxford University. And I know that many other Somali young people have followed suit. That's thanks to you and the support and the encouragement you give your children. But I also know that among some communities, including for some Somali families, sometimes young men, it's a struggle for some young men to find a purpose in life. And I know that some mothers are very, very concerned about some of their teenage boys. I've been working with some of those mothers and with AIM, with Action Isleworth Mothers, Astrid, some of you may know her, and we're doing everything we can to support those mothers and those young boys to ensure that they get back into education and have a purpose in life, that they are talented, and that they get back into a positive purpose in life, and that they contribute to the community as well. And the other challenge I know many Somali families face is overcrowding and housing. And the housing crisis is one of the big issues the consequence of 14 years of Conservative government. Not only ensuring that not enough new housing gets built in Britain, total housing, which will help the prices, the rental prices and the property prices to buy, but also not enough council housing. And Hounslow Council, one of those councils who over the last 10 years has been building council housing, but has lost more than they've built by the right to buy. And many of you are having to experience the suffering living in overcrowded council homes, or worse, in bed and breakfast and temporary private housing. And I know what that means for you and for your children, and for them, the struggles they have to do their homework and live decently when there just is too little space. So we will do everything we can. What's our target, Seema? 300,000 new homes a year?
Yeah.
300,000 new homes a year is Labour's target for Britain, and we will make sure that some of those homes are built in these communities, because this is where these homes are needed. So Seema, as usual, has taken most of my lines in terms of why we need a Labour government. We will be voting, we were hoping that we want you to vote for change on the 4th of July for a stable economy, safer streets, a growing economy that builds jobs, British energy so that we have renewable energy and energy security for our country, and recruit 6,500 more teachers in our schools. So all I want to say is vote for change on the 4th of July. It is the 4th of July. If you can get a postal vote, it's not too late to apply for a postal vote. That means you don't have to vote on the 4th of July. You can vote for any day about a week before that, because you can vote by post. You can apply now. Come and see us. We've got the QR code, so you can scan it on your phones and download the link. And the other thing is, when you're going to the polling station to vote, don't forget photo ID. Thank you very much.
First time there has ever
been a woman candidate from the Labour Party. So for decades we have been represented by men, but finally, hopefully, if we get enough people to vote for us, we will have a woman MP for Ealing Southall. And those of you that are from Ealing Southall, I hope you will come out and vote on the 4th of July. But like many people here, I wasn't born in this country. I was born in Ireland. It's not as far away as some of you were born. It's closer. It takes an hour on the plane, but that's where I'm from. And I came here to get educated and for a better life. And I fell in love with this country. And what I fell in love with the most was its diversity. And all of you tonight are part of that diversity, and it's what makes this country such an amazing place, and it's what makes Ealing Southall such a great place. And I've spent all of my life fighting for equality for women and for working people, to make sure women at work are treated equally and get paid what they should get paid. I'm a trade unionist. I work for a trade union, Unison Trade Union, which also supports care workers and nurses, and I've always fought for women to get paid fairly. But I think that what you do in your community, and the work you did during COVID, I know Hibo was telling me about all the work you did during COVID to look after each other, the work that you do with your businesses, helping each other if there's weddings or there's funerals. You look after each other. And that's just the same philosophy the Labour Party has. We want to look after each other and help each other to thrive, to help each other to get on in life, to succeed in life. And we know, as Seema has said, as Ruth has said, over the last 14 years with the Conservative Party in charge, that hasn't always been possible. People haven't been able to get on in life because we haven't had the money, we haven't been paid enough, the bills are too high, the rent is too high, mortgages are too high, and we need to change that. And I know that you guys can make change happen, because you don't put up with not having enough money. You go out and you set up a business and you make sure that you make more money for your family. And I know you'll do the same on the 4th of July. You won't put up with this government, and you will go out and make a change, and you will vote Labour on the 4th of July. So thank you for having us. Please come and vote Labour and make that change happen, and keep doing what you're doing in your community to make your life better for your family. Thank you.
daawadayaal habeenkan caawa wararka wadankan Britain idin soo gudbinay anigoo Saalim Salaad Dhoor ah waxa idin kaga soo gudbinayay bariga magaalada London ee wadankan Great Britain wararkan iyo kuwa kale oo xiisab badan oo ku saabsan arrimaha doorashooyinka wadankan Britain ee xisbiyada wadankan waxaan idin kugu soo gudbin doonaa haddii Ilaahay subhanahu wa ta'ala waraal ka noqdo wararkeen xiga ee wadankan Britain waxaan isku dhafnaa waa bila tawfiiq salaam alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh